Alright, so you want to start soaping, but you have no idea where to start. You're overwhelmed. There's so much stuff you think you have to buy. You don't. Calm down. Take a breath. Breathe. Life is good. Here are some very basic things that you will need. 1, you need safety gear, goggles, anything to protect your eyes. I know there are tons of soapers out there that don't wear eye protection. That's fine. That's on them. That's their thing. I always wear them. I don't want to get splashed in the eye. I've had close calls. I just don't want to do it. Gloves. Whether they're these kind, the vinyl, the rubber dishwashing gloves, any of those gloves will do. Alright, a whisk. No, you do not have to have a stick blender. You can hand whisk all your batches, whether they're small batches or pounds and pounds of oils. You don't have to have a stick blender, so don't freak out thinking you have to have one. I started out using a whisk. I'm glad I did. It taught me how to see emulsion all the way up to thick trace, how to actually see every step of the soap. And it taught me kind of patience too. And you don't have to whisk it the whole time. You can whisk for a while, stop, go do something, come back, whisk. It's not something that you have to do it for the whole freaking time. You will need a spatula. Any kind of spatula. You probably have one in your kitchen that you no longer use, or an extra one that you don't need. You can use that. And then just make it your soaping spatula. You will need something to measure your lye beads or flakes into. This one is a ball, I think it's ball, canning for freezer jam container. It's a number 5. You probably can't see it, but on the bottom in this little thing right here, you want either number 2 or number 5. Anything else will melt. Ask me how I know this. It was kind of scary. I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 1, and trust me, it's not 1. You will need a lye container. You want it marked where it says lye solution, so nobody touches it. They know what's in it. I use this to measure my water into. I measure my lye beads into this. Then I slowly pour my lye beads into here. And then once I have it all stirred and mixed, I put my lid on and I leave it so it can cool. Lid's on, so if it accidentally falls or anything, it's not going to spill everywhere. We're good. If you can, not a requirement, but if you can, a thermometer. You don't have to have it, and you don't have to have an infrared one. You can go by touch. A lot of times, once you start soaping for a while, you'll be able to feel if it's room temp or too hot or anything like that. So it's not a requirement. You can get a regular stainless steel, like meat thermometer, and use that. An infrared is just quicker to, it's just quicker to read, that's all. But again, it's not a requirement. A container to measure your oils out in and mix your lye solution into. I got this at the dollar store. Pretty much all my stuff I've gotten at the dollar store. I got this there. My spatula. I think my goggles too. Or I got those on sale. And my whisk. Yeah, pretty much everything I've gotten at the dollar store almost. But this, I have a recipe already made that I'm going to do with you guys. And it's only 5 ounces, so it won't come up to probably about here or so. It won't come up far, so it's enough for a whisk. And this is a nice small, normally they have numbers here for measurements. but you can use that. I use these for splitting colors off and then doing my design or whatever. Or you can get the bigger one like this, and again, these are at the dollar store, and I use these, and these hold, I use 2.25 pounds of oils in a normal batch, and these will hold all my oils. I melt all of them in here, all my hard oils, liquid oils, add my lye solution, then I usually split off into this. But either one of these will work when you're starting. Molds. You can use pretty much anything for a mold. I found this at the end cap at Walmart, 99 cents. They have them all the time. They're the ice trays, silicone ice trays. So you can use those. This was in their baking section. That was a little more expensive. I got this when I first started from Brambleberry. And each one of these holds 2.5 ounces. So when we do our recipe, it should fill up 2 of these, and I bet you I'll have a little bit left over. But you can use a Pringles can, a milk carton, the silicone muffin tins, or any of that. Any of that will work. You can line pretty much anything with freezer paper, butcher paper, not wax paper. Wax paper doesn't work very well. It kind of like melts into it or some weird thing. The most important thing that you are going to need, and the most expensive thing, is your scale. It doesn't have to go down to 1/100th of a gram. It really doesn't. Not if you know how to round up or round down. Mine does ounces and just solid grams. It doesn't do a 1/10th or 100th. My stuff has been just fine. It does pounds, and the pounds to ounces, and then ounces, and then just, yeah, solid grams. So again, it doesn't have to be expensive. It does not have to be fancy. This is everything that you really need just to get started. Not a lot, and not expensive. Oils wise, the recipe I formulated has lard, which you can find in your grocery store. It's not usually very expensive. You can get the little bricks, and I'll put down in the description box how much you'll need. Olive oil. I use the lightest color olive oil, not olive pomace. There's a difference, but just olive oil. I think in Walmart it's called classic olive oil. Coconut oil, again, grocery store. And then castor oil. You can find that in the pharmacy section. Why is it in the pharmacy section? Because people use it as a laxative amongst other things. But it's really nice in soap. So, I will put in the description box down below how much you'll need. And next week, we'll do a video of making soap together. So, in the meantime, gather your supplies, gather your oils. You should be able to find everything locally other than maybe your lye beads. Usually a hardware store has them, but you may have to order those. So that's it. Simple, easy peasy, not too hard, and it's only as expensive as you want to make it. But the recipe we're doing has no colors, no fragrance, no nothing. Plain Jane, just to get you going. I will see you guys later.